The Xtrfy M8 wireless is such a unique mouse. I mean, yeah, first off, you're going to be looking at that shape. That is number one uniqueness about it. But I hope you stay tuned to this video and actually stick through the entire thing because there is a lot about this mouse we're going to talk about. So as you saw right there with the specs and dimensions of the Xtrfy M8, or we can just call it our mate, it's quite a unique mouse. Looking at it straight like this, right here, you might jump to the conclusion of G Pro, Logitech G Pro wireless. And no, not at all. That being because that very dramatic drop of the buttons up at the front being 4mm. That is one of a kind. I've never seen this before, and just spoiler, I think this is going to be copied a lot. So for the rest of this video, when I'm talking about the Xtrfy M8, I'm going to play a round of Call of Duty, just straight through. I'm not going to cut to the exciting moments and piece it together on one awesome kill that we all get here and there, you know what I mean? I'm going to play the entire round so you can kind of jive with me and see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about playing with this mouse in the different situations. So number one, coming over to the M8 right here. Well, you're seeing it is almost looking plump, almost like half an egg here, right? Due because that steep drop right there. Now, when you're looking at the hump right there, it's not a hump that is going to get in your way. It is a smaller mouse. I wouldn't put it in that mini class. I really wouldn't, even though it is pretty small, I wouldn't really class it as mini. So me, when I get it in my hand, you can see right here, I can put it back into my palm. My fingers are in a nice spot. Bam, I'm right there. Relaxed, aggressive claw for sure right there, right? But you're not locked into that. You can still pull it out like this. Bam, you got that nice fingertip. The back hump is not protruding or hitting you anywhere. Now you can pull it in and actually rest your fingers down like this, where as you see, it's not into the palm, it's resting right here on your knuckles, and your fingers are flowing right with it. Another option, you can pull it all the way up here, have your fingers up at the front right down there, and then again, kind of just really steady, it's with your hand. Now for me, out of the box, no, this is not my typical style mouse. Again, it's smaller. And really cool side story here, right? Again, I want you guys to stick through this entire video because this is just really fun, right? So again, it being smaller, no, it's not my preferred style mouse. And even when I was talking with my Xtrfy guy, he's like, what do you think of it? I was like, well, it's small, man, and yada, 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 which we're going to talk about in this video. He goes, yeah, you know, we all knew that when we sent this out to you, like, it's going to be way too small for the Techne, you know, but we want your feedback. We want to hear about it. And gosh, you can only high five a company for something like that? Because there are many companies, big and small, that will avoid certain reviewers because they know, hey, Techne only likes big mice, right? It's not going to be his main or this, that, or the other. You know, there are companies that will avoid reviewers because they know their playstyle and their preferred type of products. Really cool for Xtrfy to still go about this like that. So again, when I was playing Call of Duty with the M8, out of the box, I was like, yo, I can't figure it out. I can't really get anything going. And this is a core point of this mouse here, right? Is don't have that mindset out of the box, kind of like I did, right? I gave it a day's break, got back to it and really started playing and just sticking to it. I said, okay, I'm not pulling my Death Adder out. I'm sticking to the M8 right here, right? And I just started using it in different situations per scenario. You're in per scenario, right? So if I had enemies close to me, I can flick it and I'm right there. If I had enemies far to the back, I'd pull it back in that other grip I showed you where it's resting in the back of my palm and I can truly control it right there. You know, in any of those situations, I could make it work. I could lock and hold a shot if I had an enemy far away or someone's closer. I can really flick it and everything. That's what's really cool about this because you got that hump, but you got your buttons low, so you can really work and tweak around it. The true thing about the M8, it's not an out-of-the-box mouse that I truly don't think it's an out-of-the-box mouse that a lot of people are going to be like, yo, I can totally get down with this. This is a mouse, again, my opinion here, that I think a lot of people are going to have to train themselves. And when you give it that dedicated time, it's going to be surprising. It's going to be like, holy smokes, I can do my ergo moves, I can do my ambi moves, I can do my mini moves. You can do a lot of different movements with this and gameplay styles with this one mouse. That's what I noticed through it there. After I gave it that true time and understood per situation, how am I going to handle the mouse, and this is what I'm going to do with it. And it was so cool to be able to dabble around like that. So before I go any deeper about my time with the mouse and actually using it, I want to talk about what you get in your box here. Of course, you get your manual, Xtrfy sticker, your cable, which, by the way, this cable feels a little bit lighter than some of the previous Xtrfy ones. I'm not too sure. Again, it just felt a little bit lighter to me right here. Now, you get your feet. On the bottom of the mouse, you can see I got the white foot there. Originally, there's a sticker, just a little gray sticker like that. I put the middle foot on there just to balance it out. It's something I always like on my mice. You get your adapter and then your USB dongle. Now, Xtrfy, I know I've asked about this before. Please just start labeling products. I think every company should do this. Start labeling their products on the dongle. Right up here, just put an M8 and a simple white text would be so helpful. So after seeing what we get in our box here, there's one thing you're probably wondering after looking over this mouse. Where the heck do I charge it from? Where is that USB-C port? What is going on here? Well, it's actually hidden on the back right side of the mouse. This is so cool. Kind of iffy because it is hard to get out. I can sit here and pry it with my nails. I don't have really long nails, but you definitely got to pry it a couple times. And as you see, it comes out, whoopsie daisy, there it goes. And there's the little rubber plug that goes in there. Then you can take USB-C, blam, plop it in onto that side. So I know what you're thinking. That's cool, it's innovative, but it's gonna be annoying because it's on the side of my mouse. So if I'm using it over here, it's gonna be in the way. Well, hold on a second, because honestly, it's gonna depend on how you grip the mouse and your hand shape. Because you can flick it and dip it, get in any of those grips I said, and you're perfectly fine. The one situation where it's gonna get in the way is if you engulf the mouse like I talked about, how I like locking shots, then I feel that hitting on the side. Again, this is really gonna depend hand shape, gameplay, your grip right there, but believe it or not, if you actually take your cable, plug it in over here, you got a little bit of slack up there. It honestly feels better than the plug being up front in your way where you're always trying to flick it out of your way. It's weird, it's different, it's something we're gonna have to get used to, but I did enjoy it being back here more than it being on the front. Of course, it's a wireless mouse, so who really cares? You get 75 hours of battery life this, so I don't think you're really gonna have to worry about plugging it in. But again, I stink and love the innovation. So I'm sure you're with me. You're seeing a lot of innovation, a lot of freshness coming out of the Xtrfy with the M8 here, right? The USB charging, the shape with that really steep drop on the front, the 4mm. But going on deeper into the mouse here, I want to talk about the buttons here. Now looking at the side buttons, you can see they kind of flow with the shell, right? You don't see them really poking out at the bottom, but towards the top they do. So this is one issue I did have. Whenever I'm gripping a mouse, whenever I come up here to press the button, I felt like I almost had to reach up just a pinch. Now, if you grip it further up like this way, you're going to be perfectly fine. Me personally, I kind of wish they even protruded out towards the bottom because my thumb would rest a little bit lower than them. So two options would be buttons lower or again, them kind of peeking out the side like they do up at the top. Now we are using KLG M8.0s right here. It sounds like a mouse, right? It's clicky, we get it. But the cool thing I wanted to show you, when you saw my finger sliding around right there, there's no play in 1 or 2. I absolutely love it. There's really no play on the side buttons either. I got my one gripe about them like I mentioned, but again, it's just crispy, it's solid, and every button is to the point. The scroll wheel, it's not firm, it's not loose, it's right in between. You got that rubber texture on the front. It really locks it. Whenever I'm switching weapons or anything, and I never got any accidental cycles or anything, really solid across the board on all the buttons here. Now, speaking about buttons, I want to show you on the bottom. This is your power switch over here where you can switch from your CPI, DPI, your polling rate, and then your DT, your debounce time. Then you also got your liftoff distance. Now, I want to pull up the manual and just kind of show you this because Xtrfy doesn't shove software down your throat. Number one, you got battery check. As you can see, you hold different buttons down. Over here, you have, again, switching it on. Then you have your CPI, your polling rate, which is that button on the side right there. And then you can control your DPI by it with your preset cycles. Coming in over here, your D-pounce time, your lift-off distance, which again, you're holding down different buttons and such, factory reset, and then your motion sync. So what I love about that is not so much that you have all the options to really set the mouse up what you like, but you don't have any software. I don't think any Xtrfy mouse or product has ever shoved software down our faces. I love how everything's controlled right here. A lot of companies do Razer. You gotta have the software open for a lot of this stuff. SteelSeries even went that route, you know what I mean? Luckily, Logitech still doesn't, but me personally, I hate using software in general. I would rather everything be set just like this, how Xtrfy does across their product line. Okay, so I know what you guys are wondering. Yo, what is the weight on this mouse? Now remember, I did put that white foot on the middle, but that's mild, right? So when we slap it on the scale, we are getting 55.7 grams. That is stinking awesome for such a solid product. Now, I'm kind of curious. There we go. Let's see what this weighs itself here. What are we getting? Like 0.8 grams. So when we slap it down without that side deal, we are getting 54.9. And whenever you have that side thing out there, at least for me, you can see my pinky's right in front. I don't even notice it there. So heck, you can just leave it out if you want. And that brings me to the most exciting point here, is the build quality of this lightweight mouse is just solid. I mean, I really don't have to say that. We kind of see that across all of Xtrfy's products. You might be thinking, yo, this is fluff. This dude's sponsored. He's praising us so much. No, you can go back to many of my other Xtrfy videos. And the same thing. I mean, no clicking on the side. Again, no movement at 1 or 2. No rattling. Not even when I set it down. It is just a complete product, top to bottom. Incredibly solid. All right, so one more thing I want to talk about here about actually using the mouse. And I want to talk about it across a variety of surfaces here. Mainly being because, again, how you're going to be gripping this mouse and how it's versatile in so many different situations. So you have the Artisan, I forget which one this is called, kind of like the hybrid one. You kind of got that texture there. It's a faster pad. As you see, I mean, it's just gliding right across right there, but you can still really control it. Usually we base that off our pads, right? Oh, is it fast? Is it control or whatever? But again, being able to really lock this, hold it down, flick and dip it, I feel like you can really manage it even on a faster pad like this. So let's go ahead and pull out a slower pad here, the Xtrfy M8, right? So it's a slower pad, so you're thinking, well, it's kind of opposite, right? It's just going to slow me down. Well, no, because again, you can pull it up here, flick and dip it, flip and dip it, and pull it down and really hold those shots. Again, kind of coming off different off of our Artisan pad right down there. Really cool to have that. Now, let's come over here to a glass pad. Incredibly fast, right? A sky pad just flinging across right here. Again, same thing, because I can just pull it in here and it's going right where my wrist goes. Bam, right like that. And then again, if I flick it, I want to go faster, it's right there. So you got all of those options to choose from, which different surfaces and different grips on this mouse. And that's what was really cool about this product. I want to sit here and say it's for smaller hands, or it's for larger hands, or it's only going to be able to grip it this way, you know, which is how most mouse reviews go. A Death Adder, a Viper, a Model O, or a G Pro Wireless, something like that. G Pro Wireless is a little different because that one's quite flexible for a lot of people, but still a little bit plumper. I feel like a lot of people, give it that time, train yourself with the mouse, figure out how to be able to be versatile along with the product, and you're really going to get down with it. Again, guys, it's a really cool, unique, innovative, fresh product. I love seeing that. And it's what we always get from Xtrfy. Come on, guys. We got a stinking high five from here. So anyways, let me know down in the comments what you think about the Xtrfy M8. Will it be your new mate sitting on your desk? And what you think about it there. But all in all, again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to help you out. If I was, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.